Welcome to Just So Sewing. So today we are actually, so the last week it has been fair week. So you can see behind me the chaos of my room as I try to get things done for the fair. I did getting an astounding overall in sewing, which I was really excited. I need to make a video on all my stuff I entered. But my sewing room is currently chaos, so I apologize. Today is going to be a little bit of chaos. I will at some point this week panic clean it all because it's too much for me. But today I'm going to show you Samantha Marie Designs just released a new pattern Merryweather leggings, and they've got cute ruffles. So today what I want to do is I'm going to make, I got to test them, I'm going to make them with their circle skirt add-on. And the other thing I am going to do is I am going to try another way of doing the ruffles. I don't know necessarily that this will work exactly how I'm thinking, so you may have to ignore it. I will explain the other ways you can do them as I'm doing it, but I am going to do that. So let's get started and show you the pieces. We've got one of the ruffles. Now normally these ruffles are half the size, but I cut it double for a reason, and I'll show you that in a minute. You will need cut on opposites, a front, two front pieces, cut on opposites, 2 back pieces. Sorry, my timer went off. You will need, there's the other ruffle. You need 2 ruffles. You need your waistband piece, and you need your circle skirt. If I had had enough of this fabric, I would have done also the smaller lengths circle skirt to go on top, because that's my favorite thing to do. But unfortunately I did not. So I am going to get my machine set up and come back and show you what we're going to do first. Okay, first up what we're going to do is we're going to take a front piece and a back piece. So you see one's a little wider than the other, and we're just going to sew down the side seam. And the reason we are only doing that right now is we are going to attach our ankle ruffle in a flat instead of in a round. This helps a lot on a lot of the smaller sizes. Now it is harder to not catch your ruffle when you're sewing the inseam here, but it's not as hard as it is sewing a small size in a round. So we're going to do both of the side seams on each piece. Okay, next up is the ruffles. We need to attach those, so we've got to make them. And normally these would be about half the width. And what you can do when you do them like this, like normal, would be to either fold down a 1/4 and hem each side, or you can do a rolled hem. A rolled hem, it's going to be a little wider. The folded hem, it's going to be a little. With knits, you can leave them raw. If you're selling, I would not recommend leaving them raw. It just looks less professional. Now, what I'm going to try, that may not work on this one, is I actually doubled it, and I'm going to go ahead and serge it together. And then I am just going to lay it off center of the seam so I don't have to attach it where the seam is exactly. But this keeps me from having to hem it or rolled hem it. So I'm going to try this. Okay, I have turned these inside out. You can see the seam here that I made by sewing them wrong sides together. I am going to flatten them like this before I gather them, and I am just going to favor the seam towards the bottom so that I'm not attaching over that seam. And the reason I favored towards the bottom is so from the top you can't see that when they're attached. And then I am just going to use a single row of gathering stitches, which is just, I set my machine to the longest stitch length it can go, and my normal tension, and I'm just going to go straight across the center here and gather it. I am going to use pins on this. I know. I hate pins. So I am just going to turn this up here. And what I am going to make sure, because I am doing, this is not, I need to look at the instructions since we've released the final exactly how we decided on wording it, but I prefer to do my hem at the same time I attach this. So what I am trying to do is I match the edge of my ruffle up with the edge of the bottom, and then I want my hem to come up to the center of this ruffle where I am attaching. So that way when I cover stitch across this, it also goes ahead and cover stitch my hem. I just like to do it in all one fell swoop, no attaching and then trying to guess on where I'm attaching next. So I am just going to, I'm going to go ahead and turn this up, and I'm going to go ahead and put my pins in here, and then I'm going to gather my ruffle to be the same length as my leg, and then I am going to attach it. So here we are with the finished ruffle. It is thick, obviously, because I did it double-sided. I did learn some things about what I had to do to make it to work with it being thicker, and that is I had to turn the tension down on my sewing machine because the gathering stitches were too tight. I couldn't go down, but if you look on the back here, you will see I also got my hem captured in there too. So the hem's done, the ruffle's done, I had to turn the tension down, and then I cut some off the edges because with it being this thick, it was hard to get it super ruffly. Just remember, ruffles are as ruffly as you want them, so you don't have to use the whole thing, or you can cut it longer depending upon what your preference is. I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm excited, and now you just need to fold it in half and serge our inseam, and then we will put the two sides together. Okay, so now we have our cute ruffled foot done. So cute. And obviously we've got our hem caught. I did this one a little larger than the other just to make sure I caught all of it, because I did have to try the other one a couple times to get it, but my daughter's tall, but these seem to fit her well. So now we just need to do the crotch seam, in which we just stick one leg that's right side out into the other leg that's wrong side out, and match up the center seam here, and then match up our top two seams, and we're just going to sew all the way around the crotch seam. Okay, the leggings portion of these are done, and look how cute they are. I got some threads I gotta sew in, but I'll worry about that in a minute. So the last two things we need to do, ignore my forehead there, is our waistband. And so we are just going to fold it in half and sew along this seam. And then we need to prep our skirt, and we are just going to in halves. And if you had a directional print, then you cut this in two pieces, and you just need to, instead of on the double fold, you need to sew those two side seams together, right sides together, and then we're just finding our quarter points so we know where to match them up on the leggings. And so I'm gonna sew my waistband together now, and I'm going to find the quarter points on it. Now we just need to get everything ready. I'm gonna find the back here. Here's the back. I'll hold it up in the air to do this, I guess. So I find which one I want to be the back and the front, and you put your skirt and leggings on like outwards. I put them right sides out, and then just clip them together like they would look if you were wearing them. So your skirt over top of your leggings, both of them right sides facing out, so they look just like they would when they're finished. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my clips on, and then we'll put the waistband in place. You can baste this at this point if you have that kind of patience. I commend you. I do not. Okay, I'm gonna once again look and find my backside because I already forgot. Maybe. Goodness gracious, maybe. Okay, this is my back. So now I'm just going to take my waistband, and if you have a directional print, you're gonna wanna make sure that however you are adding it, when it flips up, it's going to be correctly, it's going to show right side up. Some prints that doesn't matter, some prints that does, but if yours does matter and you care about that, then absolutely make sure it's going the right way. There are many things I have made for my kids that I did not seam rip the upside down waistband, because let's be honest, most of the time you're not going to see it, and patience is not my virtue if you're not paying me for it. So here we go. Now we have all 4 points, and your waistband is just on the outside of your skirt. See how it's on the outside, but it's technically upside down to what it would be when you're finished, because we're gonna flip it right up once we sew it together, and your leggings and your skirt are looking exactly how they should. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew. You just sew it around, and this, we did not add out, this does not have elastic in it, so we will just go ahead and there'll be no holes or anything you need to leave. You can add elastic if you'd like. I've thought about it for my daughters because the skirts can get kind of heavy, but I think they'll be okay on this one. Last but not least, I just need to hem my skirt. That's the back, but just need to hem my skirt. Looking cute.